Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mary and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. On my channel, I love talking about travel and Catholicism. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what it's like to be a 20-something-year-old on the Camino de Santiago, make sure to stay tuned for this video. Okay guys, so if you didn't watch my last video, make sure to check it out. It's all about how I even learned about the Camino de Santiago. Plot twist, I'd only learned a little bit about the Camino before actually going on it in 2019. And when I went on it in 2019, I was only 22 years old. I had just graduated college the year prior. And so I had only been working for a year, and then I had my summer off, which was a great blessing because it allowed me to go to Europe for about 43 days or so. And 33 of those days were spent on the Camino de Santiago. And so what really inspired me as a 22-year-old to go on the Camino? Like I said in the last video, my faith is super important for me. And so because of that, I wanted to seek travel opportunities that allowed me to grow in my faith, but also allowed me to have that journey, to have that experience of traveling the world. And I believe that the Camino de Santiago is the perfect combination of faith and travel and fun. And so because of that, I was so sold on the Camino. A few friends and I decided to go on it, and we were all about 22, 23 years old. And so after traveling it, you learn a little bit more about yourself, about who God is, and just the plan that He has for your life. And that was something that was so beautiful for me, was being a 22-year-old woman. I feel like being in college and then working at a college campus, it's just so busy and so noisy. And that was something that really attracted me to the Camino, and something that I think all people in their 20s and everyone would benefit from, is the fact that the Camino allows you to enter into silence. And how many of us are comfortable with silence? How many of us desire to be in silence? With our phones and with technology and just with the drama and the noise of life, it can be really hard to detox, to take a step aside from all of this noise. And although you still have your phone on the Camino, which is definitely a bummer, I think, in some ways, you really do take a step away from your typical schedule. And I remember this was something that I'd always think about when I was on the Camino, was each day I got to wake up, and each day I had the blessing to not have a schedule. And I think that could be the lie the enemy tries to put in you as you go on the Camino, is like, oh, you have to do this by this time, and this time. And yes, there's some truth to that, especially if you're on a timeline and you want to see everything in a certain amount of time, in a certain order. But I think the beauty and the truth of the pilgrimage is that you don't have a schedule. And the freedom to be removed from a schedule is something that is so unique in our culture and in our world today. I know for me, even now, I wake up at a certain time each day, I brush my teeth, I do all these things in a very orderly fashion. And sometimes there's some stress that comes with that, with just the normal everyday living. And of course, there's some stress that comes on the Camino, but relatively speaking, your day is very open. You have a lot of freedom to choose what you want to do. Of course, most people start walking around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., but technically you could start walking at 7:30 or 8 a.m. just as long as you leave the hostel by a certain time. And so I think as a 20-something-year-old, this really opens your mind to the opportunity and the possibility that it's okay. It's okay to take life a little slower than those around you. It's okay that maybe you are not married or engaged, or maybe you're single. Wherever you are in life, that is where you are at right now. And it can be so easy for us to want to jump to the next thing in life. But the pilgrimage of the Camino really allows you to take your journey step by step. And sometimes because of that, we start to judge our journey. We start to think, oh, am I doing this thing right? And I remember on the Camino, I had my little guidebook. And if I wasn't following it properly, I'd question myself and I'd be like, Mary, are you doing the Camino right? And how often is that of our lives? We say, am I doing my life right? And the truth is that that's something that you have to grow into, feeling comfortable with the life that you've been given. And as we enter more fully into our lives, into who God's created us to be, then we can become more comfortable with the realities, the ways that maybe on the Camino and in life, our body hurts and fails us, or sometimes how people fail us, or how sometimes we don't do the things we say we're going to do. And we kind of mistrust even ourselves at times. But really, it goes down to a deeper source. And I think the Camino really allows you to enter more fully into what you're feeling, to allow you to be vulnerable with those around you. A lot of the people on the Camino are actually going to probably be a lot older than you, because you need a good amount of time to travel, and you also probably need some money to travel. A lot of the people who tend to do the Camino are those who are retired, and they've had the Camino de Santiago on their bucket list for years upon years. And so this gives you a different perspective than maybe the perspective that you're used to on your college campus or even at your workplace. And this is what I would consider to be the body of Christ, right? The young, the old, the middle-aged, everyone is on the Camino, and we're all walking together. And just the solidarity of having a certain goal. And I think sometimes as a 20-some-year-old, you kind of get in your mind about where you are in this world at this point, which is beautiful because you're in the present moment. But sometimes we can become so hyper-attached to ourselves that it can be hard to focus on those around us. So I think one of the other beautiful things about the Camino is that it lends itself to helping those around you. Sometimes people have blisters and you have to help them. I remember a guy helped me learn how to pop a blister, and I was like, thank you so much, random stranger, for helping me, because that was so kind of you. Or you might have to rely on people for food or for drink or just housing. So again, I think it just leads to the simplicity of community and allowing yourself to take things slowly, which are a few things that are really beautiful. Overall, I really enjoyed my experience on the Camino. It was very challenging in a lot of ways, but it really pushed me to take a deeper look at my life and to realize what I prioritize and to hopefully change some things when I came back from the Camino. My life is a work in progress, and I know that each one of us is growing in our hopes of eternity while we journey on this earth. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to like and to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you soon. God bless and have a great day. Bye.